Welcome to the Superintendent's Corner. I'm your host, Max Resega, along with Superintendent Tim Saxton. Mr. Saxton, thank you for joining us today.
Always enjoy being here. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So we've had a few snow days in February, but still managed to fit a lot of stuff in. So let's start off with talking about sports. It's been an exciting time for all of our winter sports, and a lot of teams and stuff have been going well. Can you tell me anything that surprised you at all?
Actually, the whole winter sports season, Boardman has a long-standing tradition of athletic success. That's obviously one of our A's. We had 5 winter AAC championships, boys and girls bowling, boys and girls swimming, and boys basketball. So I know our boys and girls bowling are off the state. Unfortunately, basketball season ended last night. Ran against some tough competition, exciting to watch. In swimming, we had a state qualifier in swimming and our first state diving qualifier, so that's just exciting. We also had 8 so far 8 players of the year in the AAC, and Madison Murphy, one of our state qualifying swimmers, has actually won it twice in 2 different sports, so that's impressive.
Well, we're going to spin off of the athletics real quick and head into the academics. So our juniors just finished taking the ACT this year, and the air testing is going to start coming up for the elementary students. So can you tell us just how parents and the students should prepare for this kind of test?
Yeah, first of all, I think it's great that the juniors get to take that free ACT. If you're thinking about going on to a post-secondary institution, that ACT really is a nice test to prepare you and indicate, and has a lot of potential for scholarship dollars. So it's nice that the state of Ohio gives everyone a free one. I know some students will choose to take it multiple times, and it's great that we can offer it here to our juniors. But testing, obviously, for years there's been discussions about high stakes testing, and when you talk about air tests and end of course exams, those things, obviously that's an example. The big thing is preparing students, and also making sure we have the infrastructure, because most of that testing now is electronic, online, and if you think about it, when you have hundreds of students, you have to make sure you have a pretty beefy network, up-to-date computers. There's a lot of moving parts. What parents can do is ensure that their student gets a good night's sleep, more than ever on that night. You want to be prepared. Just like we talk about athletics, it's no different. You want your body prepared, and in the morning, I know a lot of times there's a lot of rushing around, and it's easy to skip a morning breakfast, but I definitely want to eat something. That just gives you energy. You do need brain energy, you need brain power, and skipping breakfast just puts you behind the curve a little bit, and although eating too much, you may fall asleep. We don't want that.
So at the board meeting Monday night, the board recognized Project Stream and a recent field study from our 8th graders in Mill Creek Park. So can you just tell us all what that's about?
Absolutely. When you think of classic traditional learning in a science classroom, you're thinking of either labs or sitting in desks and being instructed by a teacher. But here we're out and about. We're out in the park. We have our Glenwood students actually hands-on, working with people in the field, and working in our own community. Mill Creek Park, fabulous place here in the valley. So to partner with the leadership of Mill Creek Park, we actually had one of our graduates, Casey Zaitzu, come back, who's going into that field, work with that students, and what a great role model for our kids to see, and to help the community and apply their learning and do hands-on learning. Great combination.
Going back to elementary school, coming up on March 10th, we have our kindergarten registration. Can you tell us why it's so important that parents do it now for next year's kindergarten?
Yes, we're actually entering the season as a district staff to take a look at enrollment and staffing projections. That's huge for us. And actually the big key, believe it or not, is kindergarten enrollment. The more accurate picture we have of kindergarten enrollment, the better we can plan our staffing, especially at our elementary schools. But even staffing in elementary school can impact another building, for example, center. So if we have to move staff from one building to another, so that kindergarten enrollment piece is so important. And I know we don't have necessarily every student enroll on March 10th, but if we can get a high majority, an early enrollment, that gives us an early indication. Obviously, it's on March 10th, like you said. We do have packets already outside of every elementary building. On March 10th itself, from 8:30 to noon is our first session, and then we have an evening session, 2:30 to 6:30. But the benefit to parents is they start to get the communication from an elementary principal and start to build that relationship. So I do not advise any parent to wait. Let's get it done on March 10th.
As we currently speak, our orchestra is in Disney and the chorale is currently visiting Chicago. And we just recently lifted the mask mandate, so it really feels as if we're coming back into normality of everything. Can you just explain why it's such an advantage and so nice for all of us to have these field trips?
Sure. I think, first of all, let's just take a second thinking about the orchestra in Orlando. So I woke up this morning, I didn't even know there was going to be snow. So let's just think about that. It's probably about 80 degrees and sunny, so I'm really jealous. I think I'm going to sign up and be a chaperone next year. But that's just a great, again, let's talk about how science goes out in the field. We have outstanding music programs, but for them to go out and experience other musicians, to be able to perform in different venues, it just builds upon it. It's just like their outdoor lab. Same thing for our chorale that's in Chicago. Not only are they performing, but they're studying with some very good professionals. So they get better at their craft. So, and you asked the question. That, to me, is part of what we saw pre-COVID, these trips. And I know the first year of COVID, many got canceled, and we're getting back to that, which is a good feeling.
Oh, is there anything else that you'd like to add today?
I heard a rumor coming up here in the hallway, something about that you're a master dancer. I know I'm looking at a knee brace, but I heard that you're a very good dancer and you had a very good partner. Is that true?
Oh, yeah, Mr. Spartan, a few weeks back, me and my mom put on a little number. I mean, it was a little difficult with the whole knee thing, but we had to adjust and make it work the best we could.
Well, I tell you what, one, being a person that also had knee surgery, so I get walking around with this. So I really respect the fact that you faced a challenge in dance.
Thank you.
Two, that memory of dancing with your mom will stick with you forever, because I've done it with all three of my kids, not Mr. Spartan, but back at center, and we still laugh. We still look at the videos. I can't believe how unathletic I was, but it's still a memory I know that we have, so that will stick with you.
Thank you.
The last thing I'm going to say is, coming up here quickly will be Project Mayhem, which is just another fantastic production from Boardman High School, and that's going to be on March 25th. It was exciting last year, and it's going to be hard to believe they could top last year, but I gotta believe they're going to do it.
Oh, I think they can.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you again for your time today, Mr.
Yeah.
Jackson.
Like I said, it's always a pleasure to be here. What a fantastic program.
No, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
That's all for today. From BSTN, I'm Max Resega. Have a great day, Spartans.